They said the house at the end of Miller Street had been empty for years, ever since the family disappeared one stormy night. The neighbors claimed they could still hear the TV playing inside, even though the electricity had been cut off long ago. A faint static hum echoing through the fog, mixed with whispers that came and went like a weak radio signal. Evelyn had heard all the stories before, but she didn't believe them. She was a photography student at the local college, known for her fascination with forgotten places. Places that seemed to breathe memories through their cracks and decay. When she heard about the abandoned house, she felt the same pull she always did. Curiosity, excitement, and that quiet thrill of walking into somewhere that time had erased. She arrived just before sunset, camera in hand, her car parked half-hidden behind the trees. The house loomed at the end of the broken street, 2 stories tall with curtains hanging like tattered skin and windows reflecting the fading light in dull, lifeless ways. She hesitated only once before stepping inside. The air smelled of mildew and damp wood. The floor creaked beneath her boots as she walked through the narrow hallway, walls lined with faded pictures, a family smiling awkwardly into the camera, their eyes too dark to read. Evelyn raised her own camera and began to take photos. Click. Dust floated through the beam of her flashlight like ad click. A cracked mirror reflected her face, pale, focused, unafraid. When she entered the living room, she found it. The TV. An ancient, boxy model, sitting crookedly on a wooden stand, screen covered in grime but still intact. A power cord dangled behind it, plugged into the wall. Evelyn frowned. The place had no power, the lights didn't work, and her phone showed no signal. But still, she felt a faint warmth from the screen, like static waiting to wake up. She hesitated, then turned the dial. At first, nothing. Then, a flicker. White noise burst into life, filling the silence with a harsh hiss. Evelyn flinched, then laughed nervously. "Guess someone forgot to turn you off," she muttered. But the laughter died in her throat. Through the static, she heard it. A voice. Faint. Distorted. Male. "Don't let it out." She froze. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. The static grew louder, almost crackling now, and on the screen she saw, for just a second, movement, a shape. Her own reflection standing in the same spot, holding the same camera. Only, her reflection was smiling. Evelyn stepped back, eyes wide. She looked at the TV, then behind her. Nothing. The air was cold and heavy, the house dead silent again. When she looked back at the screen, her reflection was gone, but something else had appeared, a shape barely visible through the static. Tall, human, but wrong. The outline flickered as if fighting to stay visible. She leaned closer. The voice returned, lower this time. "It sees you." The lights flickered. A deep hum rolled through the floorboards, shaking dust loose from the ceiling. Her camera beeped, its battery indicator flashing red. Then it started recording on its own. Through the viewfinder, Evelyn saw something that made her skin crawl. The reflection on the TV wasn't matching her movements anymore. She raised her hand. The reflection stayed still. She stepped back. It stepped forward. The static deepened into a low rumble, and then, with a sickening crackle, a hand pressed against the inside of the screen. Pale, thin, real. Evelyn screamed, stumbling backward. The TV whined, its glass bending inward like a membrane. Then the hand pushed through, fingertips first, followed by a wrist, an arm, dripping with inky darkness. The voice whispered again, clearer now, inches from her ear. "You shouldn't have turned it on." The screen shattered. The world went black. When her camera hit the floor, it kept recording. The lens caught flickers, a moving shadow, the faint reflection of a woman on the screen, smiling through the static. Hours later, when police responded to reports of a light inside the abandoned house, they found nothing. No Evelyn, no signs of struggle, only her camera lying in front of the TV. The footage played on a loop, Evelyn's last moments, and the sound of the static whispering something just beneath the noise. If you listen closely, you can still hear it. A voice trembling between frequencies. "Don't let it out,"